Alrighty guys, so what's up? We are back in it with Avorion, and today we're going to be doing some shipbuilding stuff, so it's going to be pretty chill today. I want to get some templates built out for our expert playthrough, so I went ahead and generated a new creative game for ourselves. Oh, it would help if I... Shit, okay. Well, I built this the wrong way. I actually want the long pieces that we got here. Can I rotate this whole thing? Nope. There we go. Okay. Because I want it this way. So, like, it's long this part. So, kind of what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use these as, like, little strutting pieces. And then I'm going to put boxes on, like, overlapping. So, like, I don't know if I'm going to actually make the generator this big. Probably not. That's pretty expensive, 1.4 million. And I want this to be something that I could actually, like, build relatively soon in my expert playthrough. To start, like, we might build some crazy ships today as well. So that's more like 500k. But if I build something like that with a generator, that's going to be pretty good, I think. Energy container doesn't have to be as big. So what I'm going to do is just shrink this quite a bit. But what I'm going to try out today is I'm going to see if I can get our maneuverability on this ship to be amazing, because I play with full collision damage. And so if your ship is not maneuverable and doesn't go fast and like you can't slow down quickly and stuff like that, it's really difficult to play with. So I'm going to try to put all of our big blocks in the center here, and then I'm going to extend these out with smaller pieces of hull initially, and then we'll put some armor around it and stuff to build up some like defensive pieces. But really I want the arms to be really lightweight so they're not adding to the center of mass calculation as much as like the middle is. That way the thrusters out here, yeah, even if it's like, we'll make it decent size, like it'll probably be at least the size of this, as that'll be the size or volume amount of thrusters that I'm planning to put on in all. So like at the end of each of these four, I'm going to put some gyro arrays inside of the middle here as well and see if we can't get this like super maneuverable, able to stop really fast. But I also want it to be really strong as far as the hull is concerned. Since I'm building it out of Xanian, it's going to be a relatively expensive template, but I'm going to call this my like expert mode Xanian cruiser template. And then whatever the playthrough is, like I'll actually name the ship when I load the template in my playthrough. So if you are just watching this back to get an idea about building, you can see this ship finish in the next live stream or on the YouTube channel if you're playing it back after, if it's a while later, like if it's way later. So like if you're watching this a week later, go to YouTube and you'll probably be able to see this finished ship in the most recent live stream, because I plan on live streaming before then. Anyway, so there we go. We've got our energy container. So like right now we can store almost 200 gigajoules and we're generating about 85. Really, we should make this slightly bigger just so we have a lot of storage. So like 368, that's almost 5 times what we're generating in just raw storage. So that is going to be super useful. If we let our battery fully charge, we're going to like be able to warp 5 or 6 times, use our thruster as much as we want, and it's not even going to matter if we're not actually generating power at all. So that's going to be pretty awesome. This big generator back here, 85 gigawatts, is quite a bit anyway, because it's not going to be like, it's not going to have that many things. Basically, we've got our power figured out. I do want to put a little bit of a hyperspace core on this. And what we're going to do is I kind of like want to copy this shape. And then I want to paste it. So what we'll do is we'll paste it just like that. So it's the same size block. Now I don't want it to be a generator, and it's kind of misaligned, so let me redo that so it's right. But if I go in here, I can click the hyperspace core, transform block, boom. Now it's a hyperspace core. Look at that. So we just built a huge hyperspace core, all things considered. Like, I don't know how much that actually costs. Like, how much would placing that block cost? Oh, 1.8 million. So this is going to be an expensive ship, and that's okay. Like, you can get a few million credits relatively easily if you do some trade routes, so I can do that with the ship I'm currently in, and yeah, kind of go from there. But anyway, the main thing is, and what I can do as well is I can scale this whole block. So if I hit W, I can drag, and that'll scale the size of the entire block. So that is still 1 million credits. What is 600k? Maybe 400k. That seems a little bit more reasonable. Plus, this is going to be a fair amount of Xanian that we're going to have to go gather. So, like, I don't know. But I want to put it in the front since it's actually shorter than the energy container. So, like, we'll put it... Now, I want these all clumped together, more or less, because that's going to help focus the center of mass in the middle. And then the farther away your thrusters are from the center of mass, the more effective they are going to be. So that's kind of the plan on that. Here, I'm going to restart the music because I actually want to listen to it while I'm building, so give me a sec. If it's too loud when you tune in, I do apologize. What I'll do is I'm going to turn it down in the mixer pretty low. So it's minus 36 decibels on the mixer audio. So hopefully that works and you can still hear me over that. If not, I apologize. If it's too quiet, let me know in a comment if you're watching this back later, or just chat me if you're watching it live, and I'll adjust the volume. No probs. Alright, cool. So now we've got our warp core, we have our power figured out. I do want to put a small transporter, but we'll... Actually, no. Let me do this. We basically are going to make this as small of a block as possible, because you don't need any more than that in order to get the benefits of a transporter. And we'll just tuck that in right under here. That's the other benefit of having these struts. You can put random little blocks underneath like that, and then you can just put casing at like this level and then at the top level here, and it'll look pretty good, I think. So okay, we got our transporter. Now granted, we're going to need a transporter software, but we'll probably have one by the time we can afford this ship, so not a big deal. I do want a little bit of shield, so let's just build up a little cube. Shrink that. And so, like, this one actually isn't as expensive as the warp core, which is kind of nice. So I think I will copy that brick and then paste it. I think that's right. Okay, there we go. And then we're going to transform this into a shield generator. Okay, and that block, I mean, it is $1 million for that much shields, but it is 168k shields. Granted, shields got nerfed quite a bit, but I think that's a reasonable amount for where we are in the game. Most of our health pool is going to be coming from armor anyway. This is just to help prevent a little bit of, like turret damage. Like some damage types are not very effective against shields. So if you have a little bit of shielding on your ship, it will improve your ability to survive a little bit longer. Even though, like, yeah, maybe the shields will drop quickly, but it'll reserve your health, your main health, so your hull, for a longer period of time, so you can get out of there or do enough damage to destroy the enemy ships. So anyway, that's my plan. We'll see if that's actually enough or not. If not, that's fine too. So cool. I kind of want a cargo bay on this one, if I'm honest, because really we're gonna want to do like trading missions and stuff with this ship. So we'll maybe put 2 of those. Like that. Alright, that's not bad. I'm gonna go back up, and I'm gonna start extending the trinium hull. Ah, dang it. Okay. What I want is to delete that, and then I want to scale that down. We're going to scale this out like that, because this is like the center of the ship, right? This is going to be out. And is that trinium hull? It says that it is, right? Okay, it is. I don't know why it looks weird in color. It looks like it's Xanian, but it's not. It's the same as this, so cool. We do need to build the actual thrusters for the ship, and those are going to be Xanian as well. Like, I could, in theory, go with trinium thrusters, just so I don't need quite so much Xanian. But I think it's probably worth it to go Xanian, because I'm going to upgrade them to Xanian eventually anyhow. So... Or actually, before I do that, like, that's the shape I want those engines, so I'll just place one so I can copy from it later. But I'm going to put some trinium armor on this first. And just plate it with trinium. That way it gets a bunch of health. And hull strength. And this also will increase the weight of the ship. Or it'll increase the, like, center's weight of the ship. And it increases the total weight too. But it's good to do this before you place all your thrusters. That way you know that you have enough thrust and everything. Or at least that's how I think about it. I kind of want to do something like that. Alright, so that's all encased. That's not terrible. What we can do here, because I'm going to build the crew quarters kind of like elevated up. We're going to put the crew quarters on top of this piece of armor. And then I also want a hangar bay. So what I'm going to do or actually, if I fiddle with this, I can get it so I can have 4 smaller hangars and they'll all be able to fly out. But I actually don't want it straight on the corner. I want it like offset in a little bit so it's not too boxy. So this one needs to come forward a little bit. These need to go over just a little bit. Cool. And then the hangars, I'm not super concerned about. So those will start out as just trinium level. But I think I can do something like this. Oh, look at that. That was almost perfect sizing on those. Or it was perfect sizing on those. And this one can be a little bit bigger. So this will be like the main hangar. Come on. There we go, Avorion. God, sometimes it, like, you have to fight with it to do what you want. This one, I can move over a little bit. And then that one can be bigger as well. But now I've got 4 independent hangar bays. And when I launch my fighters, they'll fly out of all 4 of these. And they'll come out both sides, so it'll look really cool when I deploy the fighters. I think, anyway. Hopefully it'll look cool. I don't actually know. We'll find out. But, so there's that. We'll build the crew quarters real quick while we're up here. And this one, we're going to make a little bit wider. So it's kind of like a bridge. You know what I mean? And then we'll put some armoring around that. Just so, you know, our homies are protected. We don't want them to die or anything. You know. And this also increases our hull a lot. So, like, we're already at 111k hull. We also have approximately 168k shields. So that's pretty good. Our systems, we're up to 6 so far. So this isn't really big yet. But when we expand out the rest of these, like, little naysail type things, it's going to get really big really quick. So we've got that. And then just for some decorative stuff, I'm going to have, like, these smaller pieces of armor that, like, or actually what I should do is turn on mirrors. Then I can do something like that just to give it a little bit more depth, and it'll look a little bit less like a box. You know what I'm saying? So that'll look pretty good. Do something like this. Yeah, sometimes it gets difficult when you're placing these smaller blocks. And if that's the case, turn off the mirrors. That sometimes will help. It's kind of like a little antenna thing is what I'm thinking. Kind of looks like that. I don't know. It's not super great. Like, I'm not super good at this, like, detailing type stuff. But I'm trying to do a little bit more of it in my builds. Just because it's like, if you get the template down from the get-go, it's a little bit better. And it'll look a little bit better. And then your base template is better to start off with. So anyway, that's kind of how I think about it, but I might be wrong too. There's that. Oh, come on. Let me place it, like, where I want to, please. Whoops. Oh, maybe if I rotate it up? Yeah, there we go. Okay. Kind of a funky shape, I don't know. A little weird. But it gives it some detail. Now it's not just like a box. Cool. So I'm good with that. And we could say, like, this is the observatory deck. And actually, I think there are, like, I could try to make something rounded, but I am scared to even attempt that because I know I'll butcher it, and I don't want to spend 2 hours trying to do a detail on this because I don't need to. Anyway, so there's that. Not too bad, not too bad. The other thing we can do with some armor is we can throw just some plating on the top of these, and we can put it on the side and the front of these ones. These ones I can't because it will block these hangers from exiting, and I don't want to do that. I mean, if I did, what I could do is do this. I could close this side off, and I could close off the inside hangers and just have them be the outside, and then I could build like a platform on top of this. But I don't really, I kind of like the open feel, and in fact, what I'm going to do, just so it looks more consistent, is just leave them like that, and I think it'll be okay. So, what I want to do is... let's see, what are we missing? Are we missing anything, really? Well, I know I need to place the thrusters. I'm going to do that in a minute. But we've got hangars, we've got crew quarters, we've got generators, power storage, hyperspace core, shields. We've got cargo bays. Like, we could put... like, I need to put the gyro arrays, but I'm not doing that quite yet, so not a big deal. Integrity field will be at the very end because that's going to go on the outside of the armor. Light, solar panel. I mean, I could build an academy and cloning pods, but that's just going to increase the cost and the size of the ship unnecessarily, I think. I can always add these later, so like if I leave this open, I can put those on top. But for now, what I'll do is take some trinium armor, and we're just going to build like some bigger size blocks of trinium armor in the center of our ship. And eventually, when we're ready, we can expand these, and then these can become our next set of components, and we'll just put a layer of trinium on top of them, or armor on top of them. But this will help give us a rough weight when the ship is fully finished, so we won't have to add more thrusters when we scale the components. So, do something like that. I'll maybe place one like here. Like that. Actually, let me do this a little bit better so it's actually symmetrical. Do a bigger one in the middle, and then what I'm going to do... oh, whoops. Or actually, that'll look okay. And I want it to be the same size as that. So what I'll do is I'll just make them single blocks again. And boom. So now it has a little bit of shaping in the center at least. So the center is kind of, like the way I view this ship, the center is kind of like the city. Because if you actually were traveling in space, like your crew wouldn't just have like a box that they live inside of and be content, you know what I'm saying? Like they would have to have some areas to walk around. So like they've got some like, these could be elevators. If I actually painted them, you could do that. Or the center's an elevator and these are just the struts. Then this could be like a windows looking out. That's the top. These are more, this houses an elevator in the center, and that... And the way I could do that is you just build a slightly larger pillar going up the center. I think that's right. Well, that's not quite tall enough. Sometimes the angles are like hard to get. I think I got it. Sure, I got it. Why not? But now they have an elevator up to this observation/training deck. Then if they go down through the airlock area, they can access all the engineering bays. And this is like a fire seal blast door type thing. So this is like the bridge, living quarters, goes into engineering. This upper piece is like just viewing area more or less. You've got your fighter squadrons in the back, so you go through engineering, go through the airlocks, come up the elevators, get in your ship and fly out. Then on the back, we're going to... Oh, whoops. I don't want to do that. I actually want to copy and paste these thrusters in. So the way I want to do the thrusters is kind of like this. And actually, it's probably going to be better. Place those two on the outside first. And then I'll have the center one be a little bit wider. So it bridges the gap between the other two. Actually, are those two equally placed? That's like one block. That one needs to go over a little bit. And they can be a little bit taller. Yeah, let's do that size instead. And then I can do this. Expand this 2 blocks. Or 3 blocks, like that. Now we have a bigger one in the middle. Delete this one out because I don't need that one anymore. How's our acceleration? Only 37. Yeah, that kind of figures. So what we're gonna do is we'll just stack them. Now we're at 87, 106. We'll just expand them out one wider. 186. We'll make it so the thrusters are like the same width of this ship. Okay, that's not terrible. So we've got that. Then out on these, I'm going to use regular thrusters. And they're going to be decent sized blocks like this. And they're going to go like that. Then I'm going to take this, I'm going to copy it, I'm going to paste it, I'm going to rotate it. Then we're going to place it on that one. And we're basically going to copy that thruster on each one of these booms. And that should make our ship super duper stable. And easy to maneuver. So there's that. I do want the thrusters to be the same size. So we are going to copy and paste that. Can turn on the mirrors because the ship should be the same width at this point. Put that. And is this... It is facing like that. I actually kind of want it to face rotated, and I'll turn off the mirrors because I don't really need it. Or well, actually, I could turn on the Z mirror, and then if I place one right here, the way I want it, like that. Cool. Copies and pastes it. So that's not terrible for how big this ship is. We do need to get some deceleration. So let's just throw in an inertial dampener brick up at the front. Actually, Let me remove this piece of armor, because we're going to do a different type of armor for the front of this. $165. That's not terrible. Honestly, this does need to just be a brick, I guess. 188 or 183 and 228 is actually a decent balance, I feel like. I wouldn't mind having a little bit more thrust. So what we'll do to cap these is build a really long one. Turn off the mirror. And we'll do the same thing on the sides. So this thing should be pretty damn fast, in all honesty. It should be pretty fast. It should be fairly maneuverable. What I'm going to do real quick with the thrusters is I'm actually going to double them up. We're going to make that one extra long, same with this one. And we're just going to give these a little bit of shaping. Just a little bit. It's not a whole lot, but it will add a little bit of depth to these thrusters, so it won't just look like we slammed a bunch of shit together. I mean, it still kind of will, but... And I like getting these different layout ones, so when they have the, like... I call that the cubic one. When they have the cubic thruster layout, I like that the best. So I like to put those on the sides. So let's see. Pretty decently shaped. I mean, the ship's going to be wide, but that's okay. Cool. Now we do need to expand the generator, though, because of the amount of thrusters and stuff we've got on here. So that's fine. I'll just replace one of these armor blocks with a generator block, and it'll be okay. So what I'm going to do first, though, is I'm going to get the gyros on. And these are going to go, like, right here. So there's one. It's doing that. This one can do that. And I need to rotate it, so this one can do that. And I think that's all the directions covered. We've got red, we've got blue, we've got... Right? So that one's turning us green. So that one's going to the left. This one's going clockwise. This one's going... That one's going clockwise barrel roll. So like clockwise laterally. This one's going clockwise vertically. So I guess, I mean, that should be good enough, honestly. We could add an extra one. Like, what are we kind of weak on? Our yaw. So if I add another rotate one, that should help our yaw. So like, what do I need to do? I need to flip this somehow. Oh, maybe not. Whatever. We'll just put another yaw. Just so it's equal, so like the shapes are the same, you know what I'm saying? So okay, there we go. We got our gyros put up on there. Let's go ahead and do the generator transform real quick. What block do we want to turn into a generator? I guess the center one kind of makes the most sense. Yeah, we'll do that one. Fuck it. Alright, now let's go back with armor, and we're going to reclad this. So I need to delete that, and that, and that, and that, and that, and that. And this will actually look pretty good, in my opinion. If you don't think so, that's fine. But feel free to voice your comments and concerns in the chat if you want to. Not required, but you can. Okay, there we go. We got the armor, so it doesn't look completely trash. Well, it kind of does, but, you know. Not complete trash for my standards, I guess you could say. This should get the job done, though. Like, decent. Like, 1,060 meters isn't super duper fast, but this is going to be a big-ass fucking ship. We still have room to expand as well. It's got really good maneuverability and everything. Now, we still need to clad, or do, like, this part. So what I'm going to do for this part is I actually am going to build some bigger pieces of armor, just to give it a little bit more shaping. Sure, we'll do something like that. Bring that out like a cube. Connect this. Leave that clad on top. And then we'll level that out. Cool. So we're just going to clad most of this in armor to help improve its hull, A, for 1 point, and then B, so we can improve the like design of the ship. So like in real life you wouldn't have a random like generator exposed type of a thing, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so we need to do it off of these maybe. And it'll be kind of like tiled, which is kind of a cool look, I think. I don't know, maybe it's not. But, and like I can extend this out as if they're wings. Boom, just like that. And I don't know if that's good shaping, but it's shaping nonetheless. Uh... Alright, cool. So that looks pretty badass, if I do say so myself. Granted, this part needs some... Or actually, I can't put any armor on the front here, because it'll block the hangers, so... That is what it is, it's okay, we've got quite a bit of armor as it is. I'm gonna leave the thrusters... Or, actually, since armor is fairly inexpensive and it does boost your HP quite a bit, I am gonna clad all of these thrusters in armor. Because increase HP, it gives it a cleaner look. As well, so who doesn't like that? And I should have turned on the mirrors is what I should have done, because the ship is still symmetrical. Actually, that's all extra stuff that I don't really need, so I'm not going to mess with it. And I still need to build a platform for our turrets to sit on. And that's fine. That should be pretty easy to make, honestly. I just wanted to get the bottom all finished up first, though, so there we go. It's pretty much there. Like, I could expand that a little bit, but I'm not going to mess with it. I'm not worried about it. But this ship should be fairly decent, I would think. That didn't delete it. Okay, the left and right are done. Now for the front back, I am going to use the mirrors because then I only have to do it once. And hopefully you get the idea. I was showing it on all of them, so if you missed it on one and didn't see what I did, and just because you were looking away or whatever, that's fine. But maybe you want to know how to make your thrusters look like that. So, anyway. Boom. Okay, cool. Or actually, undo that, turn off the mirrors. So I just need that back here. I don't need that at the front of the ship. Make it look weird. Cool. So we got that. This one is like a regular brick in size on the other side. So we're going to do the same here. And then in the front, what I'm going to do is actually put some trinium stone for the front layer. And yeah, that's heavy, but it has no maintenance. And it protects you from the energy weapons, so I think it's worth doing that, maybe. Or actually, let's do it in armor first. And then we'll do a thin layer of stone. And I want it to be this super rich stone, because I think that'll look really cool. And we're just going to put it on the very front of the ship. And it's kind of like a heat shield, is how I think of it. And it's kind of like a cool coloring effect. Oh, whoops. Not that big. I don't need one that big. And this does give us protection. So if the enemy is using energy weapons, they won't be able to damage any of this stone. Or any of the hole underneath the stone. So yeah, it does add weight. But if you can afford it with your thrusters, it's totally worth doing. So there we go. We got a little bit. We're sitting at about 800k hull. We also have about 170k shields. Our power is fine. We're generating about 40-ish gigawatts more power than we're consuming while it's running just normally. If we warp, I don't know if we're still going to be generating more, but our battery is almost 3 times bigger than our total generated energy is, so that should be pretty good. Our acceleration is not the greatest. That's the only thing, but what I can do to alleviate that a little bit is take some engines, throw them on the sides. We'll just double them. And then it's like we've got thrusters and engines on the side in addition to the back, like that. And I do need to add more thrusters because we've increased the weight quite a bit. But I can make that like a thruster brick. And to keep the shaping a little bit, do something like that. And then just to give it a little bit of a shape, we'll turn on the mirrors. Cool. We'll clad those. Looks pretty good, I think. I don't know. Like, we could put another inertial dampener, but if your deceleration is approximately 50% of your acceleration, you should be okay. Now, our roll is decent. We're at 0.4 radians a second. Our yaw is just under 0.2, which isn't fantastic. What I might... we need more thrusters is what we need in order to fix the yaw issue. So, like, let me... maybe what we'll do is we'll make these, like, stretch out. That's just going to do more on the roll, though. So, like, I should probably put directional thrusters. And does that... what direction are they facing? I think they're... okay. So it is whatever that face is. That's fine. I can work with that. Oh, whoops. Turn on the mirrors. Do this right. And then for up, down. Or actually, it makes more sense to put these out here. That'll get it over 2. Let's do that. Okay. I think that will do what I want for the most part. We'll get the fronts of these. Forgot to do the outside of that cube. That's cool. Okay, real quick. Coolio. Alright. So, let's turn off the mirrors. If I take a look, how much crew do I need? I don't have enough crew quarter space. So that is okay. Transform the elevator into crew quarters. That's right there. Transform that as well. It's only 261. That's not a whole heck of a lot. If I delete that, what's inside here? Oh, that already is crew quarters. Make that crew quarters. And that, so let's see. If I do some math here, we need 239 plus 137 plus 37 plus 9 plus 3 plus 1 plus... Okay, so we need 426 slots. We only have 422. So we do need to add a couple more. Transform these. How about that? 476, that only leaves us with 50, and we're going to want some room for pilots. So we'll maybe transform all of that. $525. That gives us 100 extra. Do that part too. Okay, so that's like a little more than 100 extra crew space right now, so I'm content with that. We should be able to deal with that, I feel. But as far as systems go, it is a 7 slotter. To get to the 8th, we need what? Show all real quick for me. We're at 22.19, and we need to get to 31k. So we have to go up an extra 9k in order to get the 8th slot. Now, if I replace some of the armor blocks that I have on the ship to computer processors, or computer blocks, so computer cores, these guys right there. So like if I change some of these big ass blocks, like all of that into computer core, that's only like 2100. So like I'd have to change a lot of this armor and sacrifice a lot of hull strength in order to get to 8 slots. So we're going to leave it like this for now. Because when we're ready to get the 8th slot, what we can do is either expand the ship by adding more blocks to it, meaning like building more thrusters, whatever, or, you know, expanding cargo bays, whatever it may be, to increase the volume. That's how you increase your processing power. Oh, this says we have 9 slots? Oh, we do have 9. If I could actually count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so we have 9 slots. To get to 10 slots, you just add some cargo bays is probably what we'll end up doing, because we can fill this entire bottom of this ship, at least in the middle, with cargo bays without impacting the speed too much. It's still fairly maneuverable. We've got almost 4,000 in cargo space. If you drop a yellow level cargo increase, that would increase that cargo bay quite a bit because it's like a 50% modifier. But anyway, let's go ahead and save this template. Boom, Expert Xanian Cruiser. And I am going to make a new folder, and we're going to call this Expert Ships. Okay. And we're going to move that guy inside of there. So this is our cruiser. It is fairly costly, so this ship will be pretty expensive to build in the actual game. Now this is creative mode, so you can kind of get a feel for what the ship's going to be like and all that. And we will crew it up and fly it around before we do it. I just want to show off the crew costs. So to build this ship from template and import it in, it's 3.764 million credits, which is quite a bit, almost 4 million. I think we're sitting at 2 million in the game, but we can get 2 million credits pretty easily. Iron, 103k, that's not too bad. Trinium's only 80k. Xanian's 315k, but if you have some R mining lasers and you're harvesting Xanian, you can get 300k Xanian relatively quickly. So this is not too expensive of a ship. It is decent on its stats, so between its hull and shields, it does have over 1 million total health. So I think this ship will be decent for what we're trying to do. Now let's go ahead and hire some crew, and we can just hire all of them for now. Actually, let me do it this way. I think if I go into... I thought there was a way to, like, spawn in additional crew. Maybe there's not. That's okay. Not a big deal. We'll just buy all the crew. So, it will take quite a bit of crew, so you want to make sure you're in a system with a lot of stations nearby. And what we can do, if there's a station with all the crew we need, we can request a transport shuttle. So, like, we'll take all 35 of those. We'll take all 6 of those. Take those. Okay, cool. 30 seconds. Oh, a crew transport just staffs the entire crew. Well, shit, just do that. I don't know if you have to be allied or what faction standing you have to be in order to do this, but shit, that's way better. Then you don't have to fly around all the stations and buy a bunch of crew that you don't actually want to use. You can get the exact guys that you want. Remain where you are. We'll fly to your current location. Okay. We are stationary, basically. What would be good, I'm going to fly over to the equipment dock. Oh, so you missed a little bit. This is just a creative game. I kind of wanted to build out a template for the ship I'm going to be using in the expert playthrough that we were streaming yesterday. And this is going to be what we're flying around in. It is pretty expensive, so I still need to get some resources on the actual normal playthrough. So like the expert playthrough that we were doing. But this is the template we're going to use. Oh, one thing I can show you. This is the resource costs for you, so you can kind of see. Yeah, it's pretty janky, but it gets the job done, you know. Um, Functionality right there. Look at this. Well, look, it's got some shaping. It's got a little bit. Like, there's a little bridge thing here. There's like a communications tower. Um, oh, nice. Well, then you could totally afford this ship. Like, I don't know if it's better than what you've got, but 9 system slots on this one. It has like just under 4,000 cargo bay. If this will stop biting me, go to the crew. It won't because I'm getting crew right now, probably because I requested a transport. Turn that off for a minute. But 567 crew. It takes a total of like 426 to staff the entire thing, and it does have a transporter and hangars. So if you decide to build squadrons of fighters, you do have about 150 excess capacity for pilots. Discord, you can send me a picture of your ship. Oh man. I do have Discord, but let's see. Let me transfer this real quick. Cool. So we now have a full crew on the ship. So it should be a lot better. Okay, awesome. Here. Give me a second. Is there a way for you to like paste a picture in Twitch chat? Is it like preventing you from doing that, or? Oh, okay. That's dumb. Twitch needs to fix its shit. Okay. I'll shoot you my Discord after I'm done, and then I'd love to see your ship. Actually, if you do a okay, yeah. Is that your Steam? Because I could add you on Steam as well. Yeah, that's true. If you could post pictures, like, it'd be bad. Here. I'll throw my friend code on Steam. This is my Steam friend code right there. So you can put that in your Steam, and you can add me as a friend, and I would love to see your Steam screenshots. And actually, if you have, like, live notifications turned on, your Steam settings, you can, I'll be able to see when you go in game, and, like, I can remote view your gameplay if you want, like, if you set it to allow me to do that. Mine's not set to do that because it's like, if I want you to watch my gameplay, it's going to be through Twitch or YouTube. You know what I mean? Awesome. Well, I see that you added me on Steam. Cool. If at some point I do find a good multiplayer server, I'll definitely let you know, Vaulted. That way you can get in on it, because I know that good English-speaking servers are not very common from what I've seen. So, yeah. Anyway. So this ship it does decent. It does decent. I mean, and it has room to expand is the main thing I like about this ship. Like, it's not super duper expensive. It's going to be good enough for the Xanian region and, like, around the barrier for the most part. It should be strong enough to start you with raiding if you really want to. And everything, assuming you have good enough turrets, which is a big assumption. But anyway, so I think this will be decent. Yeah, it's basically like a flying station, but like the way I explain it is, in real life, you're flying in space, right? It's not just going to be like this triangle thing, right? Like, you need to have areas for life support, and like your generators, you need to be able to put people in there, so like they need to have space to walk, and like like a square is a better use of space than a circle, I think, on a lot of that stuff, because in space it's not like aerodynamics matter. So like you would have these kind of stations because your center of mass is all in the middle. You put all your thrusters and shit on the sides, so you get a bunch of maneuverability out of it for less resources. So anyway, this is how you min-max it because Avorion hasn't fixed this yet. Like, from what I've read, they are trying to change shipbuilding at some point so it's viable to do designs that aren't just like a fucking box like mine, but you still can have really good stats on them. And granted, I'm just terrible at building as well. So some players are capable of building ships that aren't terrible. I'm just not one of them. So no worries on that. But the only thing I do want to add on this ship is I want to put a turret base on it. I did almost forget to do that. So we're going to go Xanian, and we're going to put Xanian turret base on this, this, and this. And we'll also put some up there just so we can house all the turrets. And we're just going to overwrite that. Delete this one. Rename this one. Okay, cool. Is this the current template? Yes, it is. Okay. So not too expensive. I don't know. Whatever. It's fine. I don't really care. Get some transporter softwares on this, and it'll be pretty good. It'll be pretty good. But, alright. I have built the ship design I want. I'm going to swap back over to the actual game we were playing yesterday. So our black market live playthrough. We've got 5 hours, 40 minutes on log so far. Let's dive back in and see if we can't get the resources we're going to need and the credits and everything so we can upgrade to our new template. Because I've been kind of putting off upgrading my ship on this playthrough to this kind of tier of like stats. So 1,000,000 health pool, decent speed, good size generator, decent warp range, all that kind of shit. So yeah, I mean, going from this ship to that template is going to be crazy. Just in the size difference, like this is a 4-slot ship. Its crew is 30. Okay, so like when we upgrade to that template, it's going to be insane. Now we do need to gather a lot of resources, primarily Xanian. We need to gather about 310,000 Xanian. We need to gather 40k more trinium, and then we need 40k more iron. Granted, I do have 3 auto mining ships all going, so this guy is mining trinium and Xanian for us. This guy's doing trinium and get Xanian every once in a while. And then this one up here is doing iron and titanium, so we do have some miners. So the main thing we need to do is get some credits. So it is dangerous to do this, but we're going to fly into this sector, and we're going to see if we can't get our whatchamacallit, claimable asteroid out of it. I am going to check the equipment dock here first, just to see if they have any good turrets that I can afford, because I do need some combat turrets, like, really badly. These are 2 slots, so this might be worth doing. I can only afford 1, though, is the only downside. Chain gun turret, 292, 3 slot. It's bad because it's a 3 slot. Laser turret, 220, 2 slot. That's not very good. This one's better. 700. It is a 3 slot, though. Yours is a 300k hull, 400k shield, 8-slot ship. Okay, so the one we just designed is 900k hull and 200k shield. So it's less on the shields, but I think at least based off of the way design changes are now, as long as you have hull left over, that's more important because the shields don't do that as much for you. But that might be wrong, I don't know. I mean, I also do like stacking massive shields, so don't get me wrong. So, yeah, but I don't know. We'll see how this template actually works when when I import it into an actual expert game. So, anyhow. Because it sounds like your ship's pretty good. Like, that's decent. That's way better than what I'm flying with right now. So this is about 250, 280 per slot. Two slots, that's 150 a slot. This is 200 a slot. So I think this one is actually the best for us. But I can't afford it, actually. This one's 438 for 2 slots. The only downside is it doesn't do stone. It's your mothership at the moment. Okay, that's awesome. Well, and that's how I feel about the template I'm going to use. It's more or less like my main ship that does decent at everything. And then when I want like a combat cruiser, I'm going to build something that looks really good and just stacks a shit ton of shields and armor. And won't have a very big warp range and stuff. So it'll take a while to get to where it's going. But once it gets there, it'll destroy. Oh, I see. Okay. So the way you do it is you don't actually stack the combat power on your miners. You like add an accompanying ship. That's interesting. I've never actually done it that way. I've always built my mining ships strong enough that they aren't going to come get attacked by anything, because if you're not actually in the sector and it's just an automated ship in the sector, they won't ever get raided by pirates. It's only if they're too weak for the region of space that they're in and they're the red triangle. So like if this is showing on the ship, you're very weak, then you'll get headhunters. Well, that's true. You will get it from destroying pirates, but what I'm saying is, unless they've changed it, it used to be that pirates will not enter a sector unless you, the player, are in that sector yourself. So if it's just a ship from your alliance or like your players, like it's an automated ship, you're not actually piloting it, it's running off of a captain, pirates won't come into the sector unless you have this red triangle. Oh, really? I don't know. Like, I've never noticed that my mining ships get attacked by anything. Maybe they're just strong enough to deal with it. I have no idea. But, okay. Well, whatever. Cool. We'll do that. Because I want another DPS turret. Oh, nice. A 7? That's pretty sweet. Is it... I think that's on permanent or just regular install? Oh, nice. That's awesome. Those are great. I typically stack those on my battle carrier. But putting it on your mothership's awesome. Yeah, an exotic upgrade is great. If you do... I think it's Swax. If you farm boss Swax, you can get a Zotan artifact, and on permanent install, you get 10 armed turret slots. And then I forget which boss it is, but one of the other bosses gives you one that gives you 10 non-combat turret slots as well. So if you farm those a couple of times, you can build 2 or 3 ships with 10 slots on one upgrade, which is pretty awesome. Because especially if it's like a miner or something, normally you don't need that much, you know what I mean? Fighter cargo pickup, we're going to buy that for sure. We're going to want that on our upgraded ship. Green isn't terrible. I'd love to buy this orange one. I don't have the credits though. I can buy the green one though. I guess we'll do that. Sure. Why not? That's just a flat number. I'm looking for percentage increase on cargo holds as well, so I can increase the size of the cargo hold on that ship. Because this one that I'm in right now doesn't have a cargo hold. It's just, you know, like no cargo hold. It's just straight up. And it has like no hole in everything like that too, so we are fairly weak. compared to everything around us. It does have salvaging lasers, though, so I might... Actually, where I should be headed to is the... Oh, there's a wormhole here. Hell yeah. I bet that goes out to the other side of the galaxy, or it'll put us on the other side of the barrier. But I want to go over to the scrapyard over here. Let's fly through the wormhole first, I guess, and see where it goes so I can notate the sector. Alright, where is it? There it is. 5.6k Omicron. Nice. And that's enough to do Outer Rim rating? I only have 1k right now. I need to, I need a couple more combat turrets. I just haven't found good ones or been able to afford them. This is kind of like Trinium. Let's just fly into this one and see if there's a claimable here, because it doesn't necessarily matter where we get the claimable asteroid as long as we find one. Is how I feel about it. But 5.6k Omicron is great. I'd love to be stacking about that much myself. I probably need to add, or I need to find like 2 or 3 more combat turrets, and I need to add like an orange level combat turret permanently installed into the ship to kind of get that kind of firepower. I feel like, I don't know, I might be wrong on that, but if I take off the mining lasers and the salvaging lasers from this ship and replace the non-combat upgrade that's on it right now with a combat turret upgrade, I feel like I should be able to put enough turrets on this with its current size to get decent amount of Omicron, so I can do, maybe I can do some raiding, and if not raiding, I can, so I think those are my salvagers. Yeah, they are. Which I can't even use because I don't have a cargo bay. I need to put like just a tiny ass fucking cargo bay on this ship so I can use my salvagers, but this is a decent sector actually. Like I should put a mining ship in here is what I should do, because there's a lot of asteroids in here and there's a lot of different types as well, which is good. 246, I will take it. We need like a lot of those in order to afford the ship upgrade that I want to do, but that's fine. If we do some salvaging though, we will get some resources out of it, and we'll get some turrets and stuff. Oh, nice. That's awesome. Half of the outer faction. That's amazing. 100 turrets, 50 cards. So yeah, gonna find the research. Yeah, that's pretty good. So I found a research station already. So I do have one marked on my map. So I am excited about that, because when I do have systems and turrets and stuff, I can go to that station, and like to get the Zotan artifact, you have to combine a bunch of orange level systems together, or 3 orange systems together to get the artifact. So yeah, anyway, I don't know, but let's do this. So I'm gonna go back through the wormhole and I'm gonna go to the scrapyard, because I really do need turrets. Like I need turrets, and I don't have a lot of credits in order to afford to buy good turrets. So salvaging is the only way I know of really to get it, outside of like encountering pirates that the faction destroys for you or something. But that, yeah, I mean, it doesn't happen very often. So like I think salvaging is going to be our best option. I do need to build like cargo bay on this in order to hold the salvage we're going to gather. So like, let's just... If I do that, what's that? Oh, that's not... Sure. We'll do that. So this just made our ship look ugly as fuck, but it's fine. At least we had the crew and the resources to do it. But 1,500 cargo bays should give us enough. We can do some salvaging. We've got a couple 100,000 credits, so we can afford to go buy a salvaging license as well. Give me one sec. So I think if I go into Steam... So if you go to your Steam profile settings, I think is where it's at. And you go... So like if you shift tab into the Steam overlay and you go to settings on the bottom, you go to broadcasting, and then privacy settings, friends can request to watch my games, or you can do friends can watch my games, or anyone can watch my games. So that's how you would enable it if you want people to be able to watch while you play on Steam. You also can set what quality the video will be, so you can set it to 1080p, 720, whatever works. Your bit rate, you can set quality, show where the viewer's chat is, because you can actually do Steam chat. So it's basically like Steam has their own version of Twitch broadcasting, basically, which is kind of neat. I don't know. Not that it's as good as Twitch. I think Twitch is way better, personally. So that's why I don't really use the Steam version of it. But, yeah, that's how you would enable it. I can't show my Steam overlay, unfortunately. Oh, awesome. I will totally take you up on that. Like, I don't know. Let me do this. Give me a second. I'm going to get to this scrapyard. And I want to stream for a little bit longer. But when I end my stream, if you're still playing, I'll hop over and watch your game. Because, hell yeah, I'm down. It's just, like, Avorion is chill as shit. Like, it's, like, literally one of my favorite games right now. Oh, alright, yeah, no worries. If you're not, that's cool too. But if you are at some other point in time, like, playing, and I see that you're on, I might hop in and see what you're up to. Now, I don't know how, like, person-to-person multiplayer works. Like, if you actually need a dedicated hosted server in order for two individual players to play multiplayer together, or if one person can host, or, like, if it's like, I don't know how that works. If you actually need to host the server, or if it will allow you to just connect via your single-player save. But I'll look into it a little bit, and if I can figure out how to do multiplayer decently, I am down to play multiplayer with you. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure either, because I have not messed with multiplayer, unfortunately. So I don't have any hands-on experience with it. But yeah, if you're down, I'm glad that you think it'd be sick. I agree. Because I haven't played multiplayer with this particular game before. Just like a little pot shot into him. Then I just let these guys clean him up, but since I did a little bit of damage on that pirate shield, I'll get credit for helping in the raid. Yep, so I just got 235,000 credits for literally doing like 2 damage to that pirate. And I get to clean up all the systems and stuff, pick up all the loot. I can actually salvage these ships too if I really want to. And get some neonite out of it. And iron and stuff. So this actually is probably worth doing. Because sometimes you'll get additional systems out of blocks. Sometimes you'll get credits. Sometimes you'll get turrets and stuff. So yeah. Oh, you're buying tons of torpedoes? And then do you just resell them? Or just to like have torpedoes? Oh, you use torpedoes. Okay, cool. That's awesome. Um, I normally try not to get super dependent on them just because ships like the AI and most like ships that I encounter seem to have like point defense turrets on them. So I like every time I've used torpedoes, they end up getting shot down. So it kind of like I don't feel like it's worth spending the money on them. But they may have been changed a little bit. Do they work well for you? Oh, all right. I might have to try them again. Like I did put a bunch of torpedoes on one of the mining ships I automated because I thought it would increase its Omicron, which technically speaking it did. Just fast ones with high health, yeah. Now that makes sense. There's that, and then the last one is right over here. But we got some good scrap neonite out of that. Like we got a few thousand scrap neonite, which will be good. Some credits. Get some iron and stuff too. We did get a double Xanian mining turret, so that's awesome. We got a turret to build another miner. So let's actually take a look. What kind of turrets did we get? We got a double Xanian turret. That's pretty dope. We've got an R mining tritium. We got a regular double tritium miner. We've got a double force turret, and we've got a triple anti-fighter turret. Which, this is garbage, in my opinion. I guess I have one slot open, so we can put it on. Put them up here, on top of our cargo bay. Just for funsies. Go in, and this one I'm going to set to defensive, so it shoots down the torpedoes. And honestly, this one should be on its own, because it's independent targeting, so I can turn that on and off. When there's torpedoes flying, I can turn that on. It'll target and shoot them. Oh, do they not? Oh, shit. I didn't realize that. I'll do it out of neonite then. I have a fair amount of that. Oh shit, that'll lower my energy by so much. Okay. Did that actually lower, like... I think it was like... No, it didn't lower my cargo. Oh, okay. I didn't realize that. I thought increasing the material level did improve the block's density and stuff like that, but... Okay. That's awesome. Good to know. Now I have to build a Xanian base up here, but that's okay. Okay, that's all set. Cool. System-wise, I've got an engine upgrade. I got the transporter software. I'm not going to install those, but I do have two blue ones. Both of these have fighter cargo, so I could make mining carriers now and automate mining carriers, which would be pretty cool. Or salvagers, salvage carriers. That'd be pretty cool as well. Got another neonite system, so I can install that in a tritium area. So if I go through that wormhole and put a miner in that sector, I can use that mining system, and that'll work pretty good. Unarmed turrets, armed, unarmed. I do have a percentage cargo hold and a white. Okay. Nothing that great, honestly, on the system side, but that's okay. Alright, we gotta move a ship. So it is this one, the Neonite Trinium Miner. Out of asteroids, eh? I guess I could go there. I mean, I'd love to send it into this sector, but there's pirates there. Let's do this. Travel there. I want you to travel there. Mine everything. Travel there. Then there. And mine everything. And then that'll keep them busy for a while. What is this? Okay, fine. 1900 in this sector. Cool. Oh, this is one of the weird ones with the, like, central meteor. There's probably resources in there. But it'll probably piss someone off if I mine this. How much you want to bet a bunch of guys are going to jump in and, like, attack me if I mine this? No, I don't have any R miners yet, unfortunately. I haven't had, like, I only have one trinium R mining laser. So I want either a second one of those or a Xanian one before I build an R mining ship, because I want it to have 2 lasers. It is worth it. It goes so much faster. And typically, if you're installing a non-combat system, you're going to have enough slots for 2 mining turrets. There we go. That took it a minute to, like, catch up. Damn. Alright. Guess it's because there's a lot of stuff in this sector. Doesn't look like any of those are claimable, and that's okay. We're going to go to the scrapyard, and we're going to do some salvaging for a minute. I normally don't end up doing salvaging because I fucking hate it. I don't know why I hate it, but I just do. So that's, yeah. I normally avoid salvaging like the plague. But we've got, you know, like almost 7,000 worth of resources in our cargo hold already, and we only salvage like part of 1 pirate, which is not a lot. So we've got 1,100 space left. We're going to fly over and see if we can't get a little bit of salvage up in this ship. So let's go. Warp over. And I could put the trinium R mining laser on my main ship right now if I removed one of the other Xanian salvaging lasers that I have on it currently. And that would improve my... yeah, that's true. Like... let's see. So, scrapyard. Yeah, sell. No, I'm kidding. I don't want to sell it yet. Like... I'm probably just going to buy... 30-minute license is probably enough. Do you have to be docked to do it? Or does it do it... Alright, well, you don't have to be docked. Cool. Let's get salvaging then. I'm just going to buy a 30-minute license, and it does warn you in the chat when you have, like, limited time left, so I'm just going to do that. But I've got Xanian R lasers, so I should get a fair amount of resources out of this, and I'm hoping I get some systems and turrets. Primarily turrets. Combat turrets is what I want. But getting the Xanian will be useful as well because I do need a fair amount of Xanian in order to build the template that I'm looking at. So anyway. Is there like any tips you would give someone if they're salvaging? Like I don't know any I would give other than just like, you know, kind of get as much as you can, but don't be concerned about getting every little piece, but and like the bigger chunks give you more faster kind of. But other than that, I don't really know if there's like actual mechanics or like best practice with salvaging. Oh cool, we got a system. Hell yeah, we got a gold combat turret system. That's perfect because we need more combat slots anyway. Gen shields batteries, yeah, that makes sense. Alright. I'm content with that. Let's see, where's another one? Right over here. And I mean, even if we only get that one turret system out of it, like that one turret system would have cost like a couple 100,000. So that's already saving us a fair amount of money. And we could sell it and get a couple 100,000 out of it too, most likely. Pirates are going to come in, and that's actually a good thing. We can try to do like a single burst of damage on one of them. So we get the credit reward for helping, and we can pick up all their drops as well. Now we won't be able to salvage them, but assuming our salvage license is online, we should be able to pick up the drops, I think. It's really hard to see where my lasers are right there. So I'm going to just slide over real quick. Yeah, I rarely do it. Like this, yeah, it's not my preferred method. Like I find mining very therapeutic. Like it's relaxing for me. Salvaging, not so much. Well, there are a lot of subspace signals, so this might be Zotan guys, which actually would be even better for us because we won't have to do any damage to them at all. Hopefully those guys will leave us alone. It was stupid to, like, fire my laser when they warped in. Should have waited for the faction to defeat all of them. Then they wouldn't have aggroed on me. So what I'm going to do real quick, just in case they decide they're going to defeat the faction here, I'm going to prepare a warp out. Or, well, is there a better place to go? I really need a resource depot. That'll maybe get me close enough to one to get it in the next jump. It'd be great if I could get one more turret, though. And it be like a really good turret, too. Oh, all right, man. Well, take it easy. Thanks. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good rest of your day, too. We'll see you next time. Well, there is only one Zotan left, so that's actually a pretty good sign. We should be able to go over there and pick up all the stuff that they dropped, hopefully. So I'll fly over there in just a second and go pick that up. I am surprised I haven't gotten a system or a turret or something out of all of this giant-ass ship that I've been salvaging here. But that's kind of been my experience with salvaging in the past, is you don't really get anything out of it, so I don't normally do it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to fly over and we're going to try to harvest any of the systems that may have dropped from those Zotan that came through. Because there should be at least a few. Like, I can see a few in the distance. I'm just taking a look around to see if there's any that are close by that I maybe have missed on the way over. Because I want to try to pick up all of them if I can. Because even if they're not exactly what I'm looking for, I can always sell them at an equipment dock and make a bunch of money off of it. Or I might end up getting what I'm looking for, which would be even better. And we do get some, scrap resources and that kind of stuff too. So it's no different than salvaging. The only difference is we didn't have to salvage all these materials and resources because the faction defeated the pirates that came in. And that's where this is coming from instead. So, pretty good. Pretty good. Fly over here. And see, so we've gotten a couple of engine upgrades, which I don't really use those, but that's alright. We got them anyway. Now, I know there's some by the station. There's an orange one by the station, in fact. So we like need to fly right here. Oh, pirates are attacking now. Oh, cool. We still got the reward, so we must have done a tiny bit of damage before they destroyed the one. We got a cannon turret? Fuck yeah, those are typically really good. Depending on how much DPS it's going to do for us. That is, but I'll take it. No complaints. Let's see. Doesn't look like a system dropped over there. There's still a bunch of systems, like, on top of this fucking scrapyard that I would love to pick up. Like, there's 3 of them sitting right here. Maybe I can get in and grab those. There we go. There's a gold one over here that I definitely want to get. It's an engine upgrade, so of course it's the kind that I don't actually use, but we can sell it for a fair amount of money, probably. There should be some more stuff down here, maybe. I can repair my ship. So a trick, if you're trying to find systems, is if you zoom out, it's sometimes a little bit easier to see where they might be. So like right there. That's just scrap. That's just scrap. So I think we got all the systems and turrets and stuff. But let's take a look and see. So this cannon turret, not too bad. 3. So we could put in our combat. Or these are unarmed instead of armed. Okay. So... well, alright. That doesn't really help us, unfortunately. Well, fine. Not a big deal. Go over and salvage some more stuff, I guess. We could equip that orange system on this ship as well, because, this ship will benefit. Like, it's going to have civil turrets on it for a while. So, not a big deal. I am happy I got that, but it would be nice if we got a combat one instead. Sorry about that, guys. I just had to stop for a second there. I was double checking something on the settings. Man, salvaging is super boring. Like, I apologize. But, you know, this is what we need to do at this point. Like, I need turrets, and this is really the only way to get them for free outside of fighting, and my ship's not strong enough for combat yet. So, this is kind of what I'm doing in the meantime, and it's alright. Not a big deal. But we are getting some good resources, though. Like, we probably have gathered, like, probably 10,000 or more Xanian. We'll take a look in a minute here. We'll probably also warp back over to the equipment dock and check the stock, because it should have reset by now. And I know I still have time left on my salvage license, or I will, even if I do sit here and salvage most of this one. But that's okay. I'm not too worried about it. It was only 60k credits, so they're not that expensive with this faction because we had pretty good standing until we crashed into their stuff, but that's all right. We'll get it back really quickly once we sell them another asteroid. But there we go. We got a green. I think that's a turret, actually. But cool. We got a quad plasma turret. That's not bad. That could be actually fairly decent. We do need to get some combat turret systems, though, because we are maxed out on our combat slots. And yeah, we don't have any systems to really increase that very effectively. We do have a universal turret slot one that's a green level, but that's not very good for combat turrets because it'll only give us 2 if we permanently install it. I think that is an orange level, though, that we just got, so we should be good. Awesome. Now when we go to the equipment dock, we can sell some of those engine upgrades and stuff that we're not going to use on any of our ships, most likely, and just focus on buying turrets with our credits or saving them. That way we can upgrade our ship's template to the design we made today. Either way, it's going to be pretty good for us. The trinium and xanium that we're getting here should help bridge the gap between the resources we currently have and the resources we need to apply the template. Outside of the xanium, we need to go out and we need to get some R mining going on some xanium in order to generate the 300k we're looking for. But that's okay. We can do that as well. Well, we got a fair amount out of that one that we just finished up, so that's pretty good. I'm going to do another one, actually, since we're getting turrets now and systems, because that's what I'm after at the moment. And it should make us a fair amount of credits, too, which I need to generate, and it may be a little bit faster than flying around warping looking for claimable asteroids to sell. So I'm going to try this method of making some money and resources, because I normally don't do salvaging at all. So, no problem. This is what we're going to do today, I guess. And basically we're saving up until we can get our ship upgraded to the next tier. We can upgrade our DPS to where we can start raiding the outer systems and everything like that. And yeah, it'll be really good. We almost have all the resources we need except for the xanium to apply the template we're looking at doing. So that is good. But we are most likely... Well, we're going to need to mine a bunch of Xanians still. So it's fine. Name of the game. This is still pretty much the early game for us because we haven't hit a mid-game tier ship yet. Meaning we haven't built a mid-tier ship yet. And that's because I'm saving up to get a really good mid-tier ship right from the get-go, as opposed to just upgrading as I kind of get the resources. Both are viable strategies, it just depends on what you want to do. But since I just built this template out earlier today, and I want to use that one ultimately, I'm not really going to change up the ship that I've got right now very much, if at all. Except for maybe adding more cargo bay capacity if I need it, or something like that, until I apply the new template. Like, that's going to be the change we're going to make next, is apply the new template, because I don't feel like there's a reason to really change the design at this point. Yeah, we can make the ship a little bit better than it currently is until we get the credits we need, mostly. But I'm not too worried about it. Let's do this one, actually. I like this one. It looks good. Have me some turrets, please. Like some Xanian R mining lasers with really high efficiency would be dope. Because I'd love to get an R mining auto carrier set up. An automated R miner. Just because it really does improve your resource collection speed. And getting some Xanian level R miners would be nice just to have on my personal ship, so I can go out and gather Xanian really quickly myself instead, in case I don't want to automate it, but whatever. Either option would be good. I need the turrets either way. So we only have 2 minutes left on our scrap license, so basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to mine out this little bit of container right here, and then we're going to fly away from it so we're not going to lose more rep. We might be able to get this big chunk before it expires, hopefully. Yep, okay. We can get this small piece, maybe. Awesome. Alright, good enough. We did some salvaging. Let's kind of take a look and see what we actually gathered. So system-wise, we got engine upgrade. We did get an armed gold level turret upgrade, so I will install that permanently on my ship so I can put in more combat stuff. Shield converters, bunch of other greens and stuff. So that's not bad. We got some of that. That's these. Let's take a look at the turrets. So we got a gold level independent targeting triple chain gun. So we can change out this little guy up here for this one because it is a lot better. And then on our other stuff, if we sort by DPS, so we've got cannon turret is these. That's our best one right now. That's not already on the ship. Double launcher. We got a quad plasma, which is good against shields. Single slot as well, which is kind of nice. The anti-fighter we just took off. We got a neonite R mining laser, so that's actually pretty good if we wanted to build another trinium miner, but wanted it to be R mining. We got a Xanian laser, trinium force turret. Okay, so we've got 4 extra slots right now, so I could put this cannon turret. I'm going to move this one out of the way real quick and move him back like that. And then if I take, which one was it? The plasma? Can put that on the front. And then that will just give us a little bit more Omicron. These can all be on number 1. The rest can be on number 4. Then, if I go in here, defensive, and we do actually have some turret capability, assuming we have the gunners to man all the guns. So, we need 5 gunners. Let me go see if I can get, or well, put a bullet into one of these guys. There we go. Just so we end up getting... And I don't think they'll get pissed if I'm just gathering stuff that's floating. It's only if you actually start salvaging with the laser that they get mad. But I will hire the gunners here in a minute from the scrapyard. They probably have crew that I can use for that. I was just looking to see if there were any more systems hiding. Doesn't really look like it, and that is a-okay. But I think we did get credits. Yeah, we got... Or maybe not. Maybe we didn't. No, it doesn't look like we did. Okay. Well, our cannon didn't hit that pirate, and that's okay. There are a couple of blue upgrades over here, though, so we'll go gather those. We'll stop at the scrapyard, gather some gunners, then we're going to warp over to the equipment dock. We're going to sell out some of these systems. We're going to go to a resource depot, refine all the scrap, because we haven't really looked at what we gathered because the pirates came in first. There are more pirates. Fuck yes. So, oh, okay. Well, he got wrecked, unfortunately. We weren't able to help him. I was hoping the faction would defeat those pirates and we'd be able to get all their systems too, but that's okay. We did put 1k worth of damage into the big one, so I guess that's fine. Now we're just going to go over to the scrapyard real quick. We're going to dock. Actually, what might be worth doing for us, if I take that out... I'm tempted to put in one of these so I don't have to dock anymore, but I need the generator, unfortunately. We'll put in the blue generator, though, because that'll be even better for us. But I'm just going over here to hire up some gunners so I can fill up my crew again. I think I'll only need 2, 3 of them. Okay, there we go. Now we've got all of our guns running. So we've got our targeting one. We've got the rest of our main guns all set up. So let's go ahead and warp. We'll warp over to this asteroid field because that will get us on our way to a resource depot. And once we get to the resource depot, we'll take a look and see how much scrap we gathered from that 30-minute salvaging session. We did get a fair amount of systems and turrets out of it, so that is a good thing. I am pleased about that and pleasantly surprised. I never do salvaging, so I wasn't 100% sure what to expect because I haven't tested it myself. But yeah, we did actually get a decent amount of systems and turrets from it. So if you're short on credits and not strong enough to do combat, get a salvaging laser and go do some salvaging. You can get at least a little bit of credits from selling systems or the scrap that you gather, so you do get a little bit of resources too. But you also will get systems and turrets just as drops sometimes from salvaging the ships. Now, granted, I am in the Xanian region of space with Xanian R mining lasers, so bear that in mind. If you're doing it with lower tier lasers, or if you're in the lower tier regions of space, you may have an issue where you're not getting a lot of really good drops, and that's just because of where you are flying your ship. So move to an area of space that's closer to the barrier or across the barrier, and the salvage you'll get there is going to be a lot more valuable for you, more likely to give you good stuff. So anyway, let's go ahead. We're going to warp from here. I guess we'll go up to the gate one, and then we'll take a gate up, and we can hop a couple gates. So, like, we'll go here, and we're going to take, this is probably west, northwest or something, and then this will be west, northwest again. Or, well, this is that the, where's the equipment dock? It's up here, right? Yeah, it's up there. Okay. We got a little ways to go. That's fine. Not a big deal. What we can look at, though, so cargo-wise, we gathered about 7,000 naonite, 30 trinium, or titanium, 1,200 trinium, and about 1,000 xanium. So we didn't really get that much resources out of that. Just mining with our regular trinium lasers or xanium lasers will yield us way more resources than what we gathered. And that is primarily because of the efficiency of our mining lasers. So we are going towards Dying Way 2. That is the one. But anyway, so not great as far as what we actually got out of it resource-wise, but for turrets and systems, we did pretty good on that. And there were a lot of pirate encounters and Zotan encounters and stuff, so we got a lot of different systems and turrets in the past half hour, which is fantastic. Because that's kind of what I've been needing to grind out for the most part, is getting some of those base turrets and systems that you're maybe not going to use on your main ship, but you need to have some combat turrets and stuff that aren't going on your main ship to put on, like, your auto miners and stuff so they don't get shot out of the sky. But anyway, not a big deal. We'll get up to this equipment dock. It should have all new systems and turrets for us since the last time we looked at it. Hopefully it will have some Xanian R mining lasers, because we still haven't found any yet. Which is kind of frustrating, but it is what it is as well, so what are you going to do? But I guess we could take the northwest gate again. So what is this? Legend of whatever 3? This one? Legend of Tritium 3. Okay. I guess it's their version of Legend of Zelda or something like that. I don't know. We could go to that resource depot and refine the resources here, but there's a resource depot next to the equipment dock, so we'll just do it there. It'll probably only take like 20 to 30 seconds because we don't have a whole lot of resources on us, but still, I don't want to stop. It's not worth it because the station we're going to use is where we're going, so... I am kind of curious to see, maybe they'll have some combat turrets here as well. But let's go to the, or well, where's the equipment dock at? Because that's right here. Where's this? That's 18 away. That one's 65, so we'll go to the 18. Hopefully we have enough systems to sell that we can get the few million credits we need to be able to apply the template. Or at least get a couple million credits so we can, you know, chip away at it a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. It is what it is, I guess, but... Oh, you just sell to him. I see. Oh, he wants AK Xanian and we'll get rep, I guess. That's worth it probably. And we got 180k credits, so that's not bad. So that's not actually the resource depot. The actual resource depot is out here. So fine, it is far away, but that's all right. I want to refine all the scrap that's in our cargo bay. That way our cargo hold is not full, because it is not very large. So if I decide I want to do like a trade route or something like that, or a trade mission for one of these stations to get some money, I need to have cargo space in order to hold the cargo. Anyhow, not a big deal. Let us see. There's a dock down here. We'll go to this one. Cool. Refine ores. 5 seconds. And we'll get a few thousand resources out of it. So, yay. That's cool. Outside of that, what we could try to do to boost our credits a little bit is go to the sell column. And so Trinium sells for 8.4 each, so that's 8,400, 1,000. Xanian's 11,000 each, so 10,000 would only be 100k, so that's not really worth it until we have a few 100k to throw. So like I could sell 100,000 Neonite, and that would be a few 100,000, or well, it'd be 600,000. But it's not really worth it, I don't think. We don't have the Xanian to be able to do the upgrade yet anyhow, so I'll just wait and save the resources because I might want to use the Neonite for something else. But I can also look at the bulletin boards at some of these stations and see what missions they have available, because sometimes they're just transport ones. So if you have cargo space to hold whatever they want you to take to a different station, you can make a few thousand credits and get some reputation with the faction at the same time. I'm not too concerned about the rep necessarily. I'm more concerned about the credits because I don't think there's going to be very many more claimable asteroids in this faction's region of space, just because I've claimed quite a few of them. So yeah, I don't want to have to fly around somewhere super far away in order to make money if I don't have to. Advanced trading, I mean, it does give you trade route detection, which is good, but it doesn't do the overview, which is not good. So yeah, I don't know if we're going to do that. Unfortunately, we can't buy this one or this one because those are both really good upgrades. Transporter software is worth buying just so we can have it available for a few. Arm turrets, this is specifically armed, so that actually is worth purchasing. Turret-wise, let's see what you got for me. Neonite miners. Tesla turret, that's actually pretty juicy. We'll buy that. Chain gun, not that great. Laser, not super great either, but I'll buy it so I have a turret to throw on an auto miner, because I'm probably going to set up another auto miner. So there are salvaging fighters, but no miners. Just double check. Yeah, there's no Xanian mining turrets. Okay, fine. But while we're here, we can go in and sell stuff. So like engine upgrade, I'm not going to use that. I'm not going to use that. Force turret, not going to use. Probably won't use this engine upgrade or this battery upgrade. So we'll sell those. I can get rid of this one is trash. The engines are trash. These are armed, unarmed, so those two I'll keep. Okay. And you just go through and you sell some of the upgrades you're not going to use. So like the internal defense I'm not going to use. That generator I won't use anymore because I have a blue one. White mining I might keep for now just because we'll sell that. And we'll sell that one too. And that one too. Okay, cool, cool, cool. So we made like a few 100,000 credits off of the systems alone. Well, granted, I gathered some of those systems outside of just a salvaging run that we did, but we made a decent amount of money. We were able to upgrade our ship, buy some stuff. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take all the turrets off of the ship real quick. And we are going to see how much DPS we can slam out of this bad mama. So I am going to redo our turret pads because, yeah, we probably should, type of a thing. And we're going to put it like there, I guess. And so DPS, I want our Tesla, and we'll fill up the combats first, I guess. And then we'll see if we... Alright, cool. We might have space for mining turrets. I don't know, actually. But there we go. We've got 1.86 Omicron of firepower, so that's not bad. On this, we need material next. And then mining. Cool. So we've got Xanium miners, which is what we had on there before. We got a Trinium R miner and a Neonite R miner. So what I'm going to do is put the Xanium... Or actually, before I do that, let me go into our systems, and I'm going to take out this system, and I'm going to permanent install this one instead, because might as well. And then we're going to throw... We're going to put our Trinium R miner. Well, that's a little bit bigger, so we'll put the Xanium. Actually, let's just build another turret pad up across this if I can get it to snap. I can't. Fine. Fine. Xanium. Then we'll do the Trinium R miner. And there we go. So we've got a lot of turrets now. We have more Omicron, so we're actually content in the Xanian region of space now. Like, we don't have a warning at all. We are strong enough to be here. But that's our combat, and then we've got 3 mining lasers on this ship at the moment. And these mining lasers are good enough for us to be able to mine Xanian asteroids. We only have the 1 R mining laser, so we're not going to get a lot of ore from mining the asteroids we mine, but that's okay. We'll still get a little bit, so we will get a little bit better yields than normal. The only other thing I want to do real fast... So I'm going to delete that out, and then I'm going to put in a bigger cargo bay, because we're going to go mining. And I'm not going to stream the mining because it is boring as shit. So I'm not going to make you guys sit through that and watch me mine for like an hour and a half. But yeah, that's what we're going to be doing, or what I'm going to be doing anyway. So yeah, no worries. Extend that. I'm just making a big ass cargo bay. That way I have enough space for all the ore we're going to pick up. And I probably need to expand our crew quarters a fair amount in order to accommodate that. Because the bigger your ship, the more crew you need. Unless it's built out of stone. So we'll add just a janky crew quarter block like that. So we're good. Okay. So cargo bay, crew quarters. I could put a little bit of a warp core on it. Just a small one. Five sectors of reach. And then we need more generators, so that's okay too. Perfect. That should be pretty good. Our ship should be okay. But now we can warp a little bit farther, is why I did that. So we need 2 of these guys. Oh, whoops, wrong type. Fine. We'll just do... shit, not what I wanted to do. Not there. We want 5 on this one. Okay, cool. Good enough. So I'm going to wrap up the stream here for today. If you did tune in, I hope that you enjoyed it. Be sure to follow my Twitch if you haven't yet, and also check out my YouTube channel by searching Lone Debater 7 on YouTube and subscribe over there as well. We will be live streaming more Avorion this week, so do stay tuned. I'm just going to grind out the resources I need to be able to upgrade my ship to our next template that we built today. So this guy right here is what we're saving up for. So I need to get 3.5 million credits, and I need a bunch of Xaniant primarily. So we've got a ways to go on that, and that's what I'm going to work for off camera. When we come back next time, we'll probably have the new ship all built up, and I might have a few new goodies. But we'll come back in for a live stream either tomorrow or the day after. Thank you for all your support and your viewing, and until next time, this